2. Hello and welcome to the IUBS Summer Team Tour 2023 with me, your host Dom, and...
At last, I'm here as well. Tua.
Yes.
Yes.
Finally.
For once, we've managed to get both of us at one time.
The mysterious and magical duo has finally been unleashed, and I have not put in the... oh wait, no, I have put in the audio. Yay! I should have tested this before. Yeah, it's all working. We're fine. We're fine. Dom hasn't done technical difficulties this time. Hooray!
It happens. I think last week, the week before that, I think I had some issues at the start of the stream.
Oh, there's always something. But this week is week 7. Week 7 of the main season. We're almost through to the end. Only 1 week left, which means we have some standings to look at. Hooray! It's time for our first transition. That's the wrong transition, Dominic.
However, standings, everyone, and a lot of playoff stuff has been locked in. So we can go over a lot of that at the moment.
Yep, I realised now that the OBS did some OBS things like it usually does. So there we go. Okay. How much do people care if it's not done nicely? No, I'll do it nicely for them. One sec. Something like that. Something like that. Yeah, that looks nice enough. Drag it to there. There we go. Okay, we're good now. Transition. This I've started from Zygarde for some reason. So I guess we're starting there. We're going backwards to...
I am pretty certain the live does not have the image of the standings up.
Uh-oh. Checking.
Now it does.
Oh, okay.
It does. Maybe it's further behind than I thought.
Oh yeah. It'll be behind by like, I don't know, 5-10 seconds.
Cool.
So people guaranteed to go through to the playoffs. St. Sandrews are, the rest are, MUCL are, I believe.
They should be.
And so...
I believe everyone on 5-2 should be guaranteed.
Yes, Southampton Shipwreck will also be. People have been working it out in the server, and let's just say, I get it, but I don't get it. What I do know is Southampton are versus the Chambouleurs, which means that Southampton aren't guaranteed necessarily, because if Chambouleurs win that, then shenanigans can potentially happen. But I think Southampton are secure because it's not just the top 4 teams that go through to playoffs, it's the top 4 teams from every division plus the next 4 best teams out of all of the divisions on the overall standings. So if the Chambouleurs beat Southampton, that then means that Chambouleurs are more likely to be that team, except that they can't get the same number of game wins as Southampton. So let's move on to...
I'm pretty sure Southampton is fine, unless...
I think so, yeah.
It's more that like Chambouleurs might not... can still make it depending on how things go.
Yeah.
Because bearing in mind, games won, the games lost, etc., and the differential as the final tiebreaker condition are all consistent through 3 divisions. So depending on what people have in divisions, it might be different.
Let's take a look at your Veltal, because I think this one's the easier one. It isn't. There's still teams on 4-3. It's Xerneas, which is the easiest to see. Cambridge are through. Liverpool, Lytton, KCL, Kingdras, Bristol Bloomers are all in the better position of the ones who can get playoffs. I believe everyone down to Durham is fighting for the...
even Lancaster, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think so, because of their games won.
Okay.
Unless they...
I think it's possible. Actually, if they whitewash...
Bristol lose 5-0, then potentially, but then differential comes into play, which I also
they're playing Sussex in the last week. So it's, either way, if they get the 5, if they get a 5-0, I think it's possible.
It's everything's possible here. I think
Yeah.
we're mathematically speaking, a lot of teams can still get in. In Xerneas, we are looking at Lopunny being Lopunny, just Lopunny, only Lopunny is through. LSE, Lopunny School of Economics, are through. Durham Dunsparces are through. Vesper Queen Mary are through. Cambridge Camerupts are fighting out
Pretty sure
with
they're
St
through.
Andrews Annihilapes to be the final team through to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's still possible if Cambridge lose the last week.
Yes.
Which, speaking as an LSE player, is probably the hope, but we'll see what happens.
Then your Vikavolts and BBC are playing each other this week. I will be trying to crush Tom so long as the week is still alive, because I believe we're the last game playing. So if the week is not alive, I may just meme team it. As any good
it's a classic
player
week 8.
should. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's still all up to grab, you know what I mean, then you'll see a lovely 6-0 on Tom, I'm sure. Sorry, Tom. Shall we bring in our first guest?
Let's do it. I believe we have one SF in the chat.
We do. No, the thing is doing things.
Hello.
Stop doing things. Hi, SF.
Okay, well, it sounds like OBS is having issues.
It's really doing things today. It decided to swap around everything that I'd been doing before the session.
Excellent.
Classic OBS. And we transition. Hi, SF. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Yes, how are you?
Not bad, not bad. You were up against Elite Blade. I didn't write them down this week.
Anglord.
Who that's
is of the Liverpool variety, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Liverpool Lytton.
Yes. And you were up against big old Lando team with
clash of the OU dominating ground types.
Yes.
Lando and Better Lando. I haven't committed to a nickname theme for the season. I should have called the Great Tusk Better Landorus. That'd been funny.
Beg to differ.
Ooh.
Oh yes, of course.
I have drafted both on the same draft pool once, which was quite funny.
Yeah. So, what were your thoughts going into this matchup?
Not huge. No, I was away all week. So I didn't have a huge amount of time to prep. So it was kind of a okay. Let's put some stuff together. This seems pretty good. So I'm actually quite pleased with how, in a short amount of time, I actually build, I think, one of the better teams this season. The thoughts were Spectria was terrifying because it's Spectria, scary Pokemon. But worrying about it back when I was drafting this team. So I thought, let's put the Root Bonnet on there, a fairly sturdy Ghost Resist. I gave it Lum to try and play around some kind of Wisp shenanigans. It's also good Rotom switching, which always helps. GU thing just blows stuff up, so I expect that. Urshifu was scary. I did not have the best answer to Urshifu, so I had Fizz Death Lord just to kind of take some hits, so that thing is not physically bulky in the slightest. Physically offensive dragon types have been a bit of a scare this season for that reason. A bulky Tusk also came, or bulky but also offensive, max HP but also a lot of attack to help against that as well. The main thing I noticed is that only hazard removal was Defog Cleavor, which you may notice I did try and play around in case it's Defog, but it wasn't, I don't think. For that reason, I thought Spinning Quag, let's stack some spikes on them. In hindsight, Stealth Rock might have been slightly better, but this one won't. But I think Spike's still pretty good for chipping down stuff like the Spectrier and the Urshifu. Scarf Rotom, I thought being the only electric immunity was Lando, who did not want to eat a Will-O-Wisp. I thought it was Terra on that this week instead of Glow King. 'Cause I think this season I had slightly been over-relying on Glare and Slowking for stuff, and this week it had to be Terra for something to not be completely useless into their big three Pokemon of Spectre, Lando, and Urshi. Thought, let's not bring that. Let's go for actually an idea that someone else. Well, the previous week when I got absolutely wrecked by Choice Band Ting Lu, and the post-game person was like, "Huh, we thought you were going to bring Terra Electric Rotom. Like, I had not even thought of that. But like, I'll store that as a little idea for later." That came very useful.
Hello, later.
And then the back, yeah, and that was kind of, and Tusk came because it's great Tusk, and with the right moves, it hits everything really hard. It's just a stupidly good Pokemon.
Yeah. Tell me, I watched through all these last night, but that is last night. Should I be watching this on slow or on normal?
Normal probably. It's not too crazy a game, I don't think.
Okay.
But yeah, it's felt a good win after three pretty embarrassing losses in a row, to be honest. Being crushed by various things I should not have been crushed by, but I played badly. It was nice to get a good win, and to know people enjoyed the win. Also, kind of cherry on top.
Yeah. What were you thinking, turn one? What's going in?
I think if I was a Rotom fan, I thought it's pretty good to most things apart from Landorus, but I can burn that, and then a burnt Landorus is a lot less of a problem, especially now it's lost half its utility options. So yeah, I thought let's leave Rotom.
And that's indeed what you do.
Here we go.
And the Terra early, because Terra Electric makes it really good, and then Wisped, which felt nice.
Means you don't get hurt by
this
the
thing
Stone Axe.
Yeah, and then go Tusk, because, I mean, the reason Cleavor's not that good in OU is because it kind of sucks in Tusk. No good double, though. This Namorous was their biggest annoyance in this game, and in hindsight, I should have prepped a bit more for it, but oh well. I try and top the hit.
Even if the Furion form doesn't have the speed, it still has the move pool that the Incarnate form has been dominating people with, so
yeah,
it can be a bit frustrating on that front.
And it's bulky. Because that burn that Trailblaze does very little, which is nice.
And some classic Quag shenanigans with Recover and
that
stuff.
Was an annoying turn, getting a Choice Scar. I should have seen that coming, but getting a Toxic off was nice in return, so quite as many here to lay up spikes, really. Less using it for defensive abilities, more just for get-up spikes.
I mean, that, and you've just had Cleavor take up another set of spikes chip, and doesn't really achieve anything because it has been burnt early. So, potentially, actually, just as a trade, it's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. We're going to see a lot of Quag coming in and just being a nice wall. Unfortunately, gets that poison, which limits it a fair bit.
Yeah. But the problem is just play it safe. I know they could do some shenanigans, but I kind of wanted to not do anything too risky early on. Maybe should have stayed in the place we didn't, but just try and scout a bit what this Namus is doing.
That's a very
crit plus death drop is really not fun. Well, I think, do I get away with a heal or do I get a third spike up? Oh, if I Toxic the Rotom. Probably the wrong play.
Yeah, I do think you get it out, you do.
Yeah. What was that? I was in Toxic Namus, I can't remember what I was doing there. So yeah, Quag is sacked. And at this point I'm like, oh, great. Didn't really... Then this thing came in absolute clutch, the trick. Without it, I probably should have lost on the spot, but thanks to it, I still made some slightly... I think I should have gone... What I ended up going into Florges, I should have gone that earlier. I was kind of hesitant to let Florges take hits, because A, it's fully Fizz Death, so I'm not sure how well it take hits, and B, I didn't want to risk getting chipped too much for Urshifu, but ultimately I ended up deciding, okay, I have to do that now. After you have Terra Waters, like, okay, now to use weak, I'm feeling okay, I'm about to lose this now. I sacked that when we didn't need to sack it, looking on hard Florges, but I didn't really anticipate how, even with Fizz Death, not Spit Death, how much I just sit on this.
Florges is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's extremely high special defense step. Basically just walls any sort of monster that's trying to break it on the special side.
Yeah, just a bit of wish passing. The wish actually was a bit of a last minute, because I built the team quickly, had Energy Ball last to try and hit Rotom, okay? Want to do Wish Protect of Unseen Fist. Then Glix was like, why Energy Ball? Like, yeah, now put Wish on instead. And you'll see later on that Wish ends up being really important. Okay, I'm trying to keep it down into Dark Pulse range. That was kind of the calc I had running.
Okay.
The power here could end up being relevant later on, which is kind of annoying. But then the wish being super useful, bringing this back up to full.
Nice, so that you're not getting T-waved on the
yeah.
on any of your mods that you don't want T-waved.
The lump comes in here, not quite how I intended to use it, but and you also get the power, which is the paralysis, which is annoying, but makes change to kill the Rotom, which I'm kind of happy with because it's a problem.
And this is a fairly obvious U-turn.
Yeah.
And it's rather free in this position anyway, so.
Yeah. But this, I go close combat here because my other moves are Knockoff and Ice Spinner. I wasn't sure it was in knockoff range, depending on how physically bulky it was. Here, though, I made a play I liked because I realised last week I got wrecked by Grass, not Crocodile. Like, I see this coming, I'm going... I do let... I probably should have suckered then instead. Responded, yes, I don't let something in too easily. I went Sucker there, that's slightly annoying. Because that sucker damage would make Landorus was definitely in GU range.
Classic yellow magic at work.
Yeah. At this point, I was worried that about some sub-disable nonsense. They just mudshot me. So I'm like, I'm fine with that. I'll get rid of the Spectre. I mean, if it only does half the GU, I'll call that a good day. And here's a slightly squeaky bum ending. SD, full power here. Things get messy. Although I think GU probably could have killed, and yeah, plus yeah, I got powered there, could have lost, but I didn't. EQ kills me back, but without the Spadef drop, I know I take a Grass Knot. And then
game win.
The Ice Spinner off.
Ice Spinner has been a very interesting addition to the game, I feel. A lot of
much needed, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of Pokemon that didn't have the ability to hit a fair few things for super effective. Ice Spinner comes in. It's not amazingly powerful, but it is enough to get certain rolls happening, and you consider it on particular weeks.
Although if we're talking about just general physical ice stab, previously we had to put up with Ice Punch.
Yeah.
Or Icicle Crash, which has 5 more base power, yes, a flinch chance, but inaccuracy.
90%
So having an
is not
accurate
life.
option that has decent base power is very nice.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I just had a diddle-dum. Why did I just have a diddle-dum? I thought all my notifications were off. Oh, well. But thank you very much for coming and talking about your game. Good luck for the final week of normal season.
Yes.
I'm not going to go and check each team to see if I have to wish them well for playoffs or not. That sounds
like... You don't. You don't have to wish yourself for playoffs, unfortunately. It's not been the best season.
There's always a team on the bottom. Not necessarily you're on the... There's always the winners and the losers, but a lot of teams get the win. I'm terrible at this. Whatever.
It's fine.
There's always next year. That's what we say.
Yeah.
I mean,
all 3 people here today are all 3 people who are having the game show are Oxford players, so I call that a win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Had the best games this week.
Yeah. Cool.
My OBS is doing very strange things. Sorry, stream. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
As we welcome in our next guest and hope that OBS is actually being good for me. It's I
for once.
I don't know. I went onto the. It says it's been streaming for an hour. I have not been streaming for an hour. At least YouTube says I've been streaming for an hour. What is it on? Okay. No, it doesn't say. It says I've been streaming for 19 minutes, but that the video is 1 hour and 6 minutes long. Well done, YouTube. You're doing very well. Let's welcome in our next guest. Joining us for Nat Days, it's Ultraglix. Hello. How are you doing?
Am I audible and everything? Because I'm working with somewhat suboptimal technology. Okay.
You are very much audible to me.
I'll check the levels.
Alright, good.
Yeah, you're alright. I might turn you down just a tiny bit on my end, but I think you are absolutely fine. I will completely forget about this when I'm in a chat with you in the future. Oh well. This is a NatDex game between Oxford again, and it's the other one this time. It's nope. I did not write them down. I'm not even gonna try. You tell us.
Durham.
I'm pretty sure this is Durham. Yeah.
Yes. It's
Durham.
a.
The Duns Masters.
Yeah. We've got another Great Tusk. We've got another Spectria. Gonna look fairly different this week. Or this game.
Yeah, but there are some similarities though, definitely, in the two games. We'll see a calm-minding fairy type. That's something it's a bit difficult to deal with. But yeah,
on both teams.
This is actually.
I don't know if you bought the.
True. Yes. But yeah, this is actually my second time playing against Dance Theory or Jevil, although they were on the Durham Dumbrions last year.
They were.
And I think just like last year, it was a very kind of tough matchup to build for. I think they're very good at building very like hard to cheese teams. Like they always have very solid offense and defense, and you can't just answer it all with one thing.
Yeah, they're a strong balanced player.
I think. Yeah, and so I think all 6 of my Pokemon did really important things this game, and sometimes I didn't bring Sneasler this week, but there was one week I think where Sneasler killed every Pokemon, and that is not the kind of matchup that this is. No easy wins.
Yeah, definitely not.
But yeah.
What were you thinking turn 1? Because there's a lot of threats, and it's not necessarily obvious who leads there. Like there are certain things that can happen, but all of them can start off pretty much. Apart from
yeah. It was definitely quite hard to tell. I was expecting, I think, Mudsdale for just Rock Setter, or Feeney because it's good into basically my whole team, or Corviknight just because it gets U-turn. You can just lead against a lot of stuff. It kind of depends what they're expecting me to lead good against Tusk. But yeah, I ended up going with the Lati lead because if they led Mudsdale is my team can't one-shot it, so I just wanted to lead Lati and Draco it immediately, and just get damage that way. But as we end up seeing, the Lati lead is maybe even better than getting Chip on Mudsdale, which was nice. Yeah, it was. I think a lot of this game was that their mons are very good. Like the Mudsdale and the Feeney are very annoying defensively until I get damage, and then their lack of recovery is something I can exploit. So that was my goal going in, just hit them as soon as possible. Yeah.
Sorry, my tech difficulties are indeed happening, because they always have to happen during a stream. So it's going to take a mo for me to actually click the play button, because I can't. Thanks, tech difficulties. Okay, are you going to work now? Maybe. There we go. It's working now.
Nice.
We love mouse breaking every single time. This is definitely a plop it onto onto normal for the beginning and slow during the end, right?
Yeah. That's cool. I think that fits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see that lead off.
Yeah. So you see, this is Feeney. I know this Feeney is defensive just from team building because Galarian Diamantsan kills every other Pokemon with Icicle Crash. So that is why I go for this trick turn 1. I'm confident it's not going to be Scarf Feeney. And yeah, I think if I didn't have trick, I would just kind of lose to this CM Feeney. It was really, really good against me. So very important.
Yeah, it's a
That's kind of a very
this is
large
Specs
chunk of
Heatran.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, and that was actually Specs Heatran with no coverage. It just had like double seal, double fire, because that was all I needed. Yeah,
I've really been enjoying seeing Eviolite Ursaring.
Yeah, I've got it in random battles a few times. That was kind of the inspiration for drafting it here. If you want to pause here, just to explain the Galarian Darmanitan.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
something.
So Galarian Darmanitan, as I said, is really good in this matchup, and I'm pretty sure that the most obvious set and maybe even the better set against their team in Team Builder is like Choiced. As I said, that their ice resist is Fini, which is a good ice resist, but it also, if it's their only one, I can start predicting it and things. But instead, I went for this set because one, it's just unexpected, which is always nice, but it's also this Zen mode Darmanitan is actually faster than Spectrier, and so therefore it's faster than their entire team. So it's the kind of thing where if I can get a turn like this where I belly drum on a switch, then it's not accurate to say that I win because I have taken damage already. But if I was at like 50% and I did this, it can be almost game winning depending on what Medichamp's running. But here, because I switched on U-turn earlier, it doesn't win. Medicham kills from this range with Fake Out or Bullet Punch. I know it's going to have one of those, and so I'm just using it here. I'm just killing Fini. That's the only reason for the belly drum. It's just I think 2 Earthquakes might have killed, but then Corvi can come in on the second one. So it's just more complicated. So,
and it's 50% that it triggers at, isn't it? So
yeah.
If you got it in sort of more that 40 to 50 range, Medi might have had much more of a harder time against you.
Yeah, we can play again now, but yeah, so Medicham obviously has priority for this, but I have Comfy. Comfy is actually just 100% answer to Medicham. Maybe there's some weird, like, I don't know if Medicham can actually kill Comfy. It needs damage on it, basically. So that's why every time I say risking it taking damage permanently.
It can poison jab, can't it, Medi?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So it is potentially possible, but running poison jab, it depends on whether it actually has the space to be able to fit that into cell or not. But in the case of being against something like a Comfey, which can actually switch into quite reliably, probably worth doing.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but okay. Yeah, doesn't seem like I missed too much.
Red card.
Oh yeah, my Lego. Can we pause here? Because Jeff will send over the Poke Paste after the game. Anti-Sneasler set. So I saw the red card and I think it was some kind of Sneasler answer, but red card only works if you live the hit. So they're also running Endure. And yeah, so I didn't know what was going on in the game. I just saw the red card. I was like, it's some kind of sweep answer, but I don't know what. But it turned out to be Endure. But that does mean that it doesn't have as many coverage moves. And we'll see here that this Nihilego can't actually hit Heatran. It has, I think, Psychic and then Sludge Wave. So I think the fact that I didn't bring Sneasler, Nihilego just wasn't very useful beyond setting rocks. I think that's basically what it does. It sets rocks and then will stay in and get sacked to Heatran, because this turn for them, they have no suspects Heatran now that Fini is dead. Everything will die to either. I think Spectre might live a Flash Cannon, but switch to anything for fear of me clicking Flamethrower. So I just click Flash Cannon and kill this.
Yes, you do. And there comes that Spectre.
Yeah, so every time that Spectre comes in, I have this Ursaring. Ursaring always lives the hits, but it's also very predictable. And Medicham, if they double to Medicham as I go Ursaring, I basically have to sack something if Comfy's not full. But still, I mean, that Spectre is just such a threat. Let's go for it.
Ice Punch for the...
Yeah, I think Ice Punch... Hit? Yeah, exactly. +6. So I just went for it. And yeah, I sacked the G-Darm for damage on Mudsdale. As I was saying earlier, I just need damage on that thing somehow. So I just decided G-Darm would be the sack for it. And now we get into the stage of the game where I have one more Pokemon, and I think I'd lose this game 100% if I only have 3 Pokemon. But because I have 4, Spectre can't just threaten me as much. Like here, it has to click Psychic because if it clicks Shadow Ball and I go Ursa Ring, they have to sack another mon to Heatran, and it just gets really complicated for them. And so there's just a lot of. Oh yeah, that Draco miss was so lucky because it just seals. Like it just means that this Thunderbolt kills or puts Corby low enough that Corby is not living a Flash Cannon, or at least not living 2.
Very
Heatran.
Yes.
A lot more guaranteed of a kind of win condition. And yeah, here we see Spectre just can't click Shadow Ball as long as I have Ursa Ring alive.
And you can tell from the damage that it specs, so you can stay in there.
Yeah, and turn 30, Jebel didn't realize that Synthesis got triage, which is why they stayed in and went for another Dark Pulse. But as we see here, Relative was switching to Corvi, and the Calm Mindset actually wins just about. It's a close thing, as we'll see. That this Comfy doesn't have stored power, which a lot of mindsets run. It has Giga Drain. Again, I was scared of Fini, and so that means that it can't hit a Corvi on more than 10%. And yeah, this is the close part where I thought this Corvi was defensive. I should have calced it, but I didn't. And so I actually thought this Draining Kiss just killed it. But no, I was left on 4% after the 2 Rocky Helmet hits. If I'd only taken 1 Rocky Helmet, it would have been fine. But yeah, so really close game at the end there. If Spectre had got an opportunity,
you're done with the game.
Then yeah.
Always can be quite funny sometimes.
I love it. It's so stupid.
And I'm especially glad. My nickname theme for this week of like Bond movies was. It started with the Comfy one of Goldfinger just after the theme, fitting with the Draining Kiss sweep set. So I was very happy that
I did not notice that.
Comfy got to close it out. The Ursa Ring is named after. There was like a bear in one of the Roger Moore movies or something. Yeah, so
that's great.
That was nice. And yeah, the Comfy. I think one of the nice things about this game was that the Comfy. What didn't look like a Calm Mindset at all. I think that's why it was able to win, because Jevil didn't realize that Corvi needed to be higher HP. Because I think it was only on turn 32 or whatever that I revealed Calm Mind after clicking however many syntheses and other things. So it was definitely a nice surprise. It was also the Comfy had no special attack investment or anything, so. I think that was. I ended up catching them at a point where Corvi was low enough, and it needed to be completely max defense to switch in on Medicham reliably, and even then, it was really close. Like I think earlier in the game, the Bullet Punch did like 45. That is a base 40 power move, but Medicham is just so strong. Yeah, maybe it was 50. So, and it's only the triage outspeeding Bullet Punch that means I can actually live.
Yeah,
so
around
really close thing, but
yeah.
Yeah, but thank you very much for showing us your game, for telling us all about it, and good luck. I can say it this time. Good luck for Week 8 and good luck for playoffs, I believe.
No, I don't think we're making playoffs either, but I'm looking forward to Week 8. I've got my team mostly built, and it'll be something. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain the Oxtagoons cannot make it as of right now.
They're even in my division, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Good luck for Week 8 as we move
thank you.
on to our Ubers game. Let's say hello to Omi.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry.
Yes, they are.
Hello. How are you doing?
Is my volume fine?
Yes, your volume
sounds
is
good to
beautiful.
me.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. Yeah, just got back from work. I was rushing a bit to try and get home in time for this.
Glad
well, we're here now, and it's exactly. Good to have you on.
Yes.
The replay should be. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, you paused that, but that would explain a lot. There's the matchup. Maybe not quite. It's interesting to see the Victini come out. Actually, it's not I see too often, but at
Yeah,
least the Ubers. But
didn't expect that as well.
yeah, coming through, no Arceus on the other side. So sometimes Arceus matchup just isn't good enough to warrant bringing it. But was that a
Yes.
surprise?
Let's have a
I
look
don't
at
actually know the
That
outcome.
that was a big surprise, and I will
Yeah.
I will mention it a lot because I think it had kind of huge effects on how this game ended or turned out rather.
Mm.
Yeah, so my thoughts kind of going into this were, I mean, so first off, they didn't bring their Arceus. Their Arceus happens to be Arceus flying, which I was actually quite worried about because with Calm Mind Flying Judgment, it's actually a big threat to my draft. The only Pokemon I have that resists flying actually is Corviknight, but Corviknight can't take a flamethrower from a boosted
Yeah.
Arceus.
Mm.
So it actually was a big threat, but they, for whatever reason, didn't decide to bring it. And the team that they did bring, as a result, did not have a ground type resist or immunity. So my thought going into this was, okay, Ursaluna looks like it can just pick up kills, because there's no earthquake switch in really. It's just trying to get Ursaluna in safely is the thing. Um, yes. So I was worried about Arceus going into this. I was also worried about um Fluttermane. That was the other one because Fluttermane it has coverage for everything. It hits really hard. My Dark type can't really deal with it because it has fairy coverage. It's faster than Lunala. It has Psychic for Eternus. You know, it basically threatens my team really severely, especially in Sun when if it gets a photosynthesis boost. So I came up with a tech just to deal with Fluttermane, and I mean we'll see it
Yes, we
if you
will.
play the game, we'll see it.
And you're not worried about Pex because you've got the Ursaluna, you've got the
Yeah,
Lunala.
exactly. Yeah, Ursaluna is one of the best answers I think into Pex because it's not worried about getting poisoned. It doesn't mind too much getting knocked off. It doesn't care about scald burns. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And it's also there for
Apex is more or
Cleo.
less here to be here for the turn. Being able to take away T-Spike or actually be able to switch into a turn
yeah,
and do something
exactly.
off of it. So
Yeah.
it does need to come for that reason.
I've put this onto slow. I don't remember if it needs slow or if it needs a normal. I feel like it's.
It's up to you.
Let's slow. Ubers always takes a bit more to explain the actual turns themselves, so let's go
Sure.
for a slow.
Ubers is a format where one misplay in one turn can drastically swing a game.
You
So
give Arceus one too many calm minds, and often it's just one calm mind,
it
and it
literally
can
just
sweep.
one, yeah.
So who's the lead out here? What are you wanting to get going from the start?
To be honest with you, I don't remember who I led off with. But if I were to play the game again, what would I lead off with? I think I think I led off with Arceus. Main
Classic
thought
lead, if you
being
can.
it's my only rocker actually, and I wanted to get rocks up early, just to start pressuring things, pressure the Victini and the Cheems if it's not boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no removal.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. They didn't bring their Arceus, and I don't think anything else gets defog in their team. Yeah, so
No.
it's just free rocks and it stays up forever.
Right. Let's see that happen. Yeah, you got it
Yeah,
right.
and
It's the
and it
Arceus.
was a very good lead for me. I was kind of worried about Final Gambit there, but I would have lived Final Gambit and gotten the rocks up anyway. So
Perfectly
Pex
amiable.
comes in. I switched to Scizor. I was tempted to go Ursula, but I don't want to get it poisoned before it gets burned. I'd rather it get burned first with the Flame Orb. This way I can safely go into Ursaluna and get my Mega Evolution on Scizor. Ursa comes in, Scald, doesn't do too much. And at this
I'm
point I feel
surprised with
like,
that.
yeah, it's a bit the Ursaluna was max Spadef is
Mm.
why. And at this point, yeah, I can just keep clicking Earthquake.
44 to Groudon is very
Yeah,
impressive.
so that's very defensive Groudon. That's like max
Yeah.
defense Groudon. So that is it can switch in once basically. I switched to Lunala. Unfortunately, they miss. Um,
It's still
and
the half
yeah,
damage
the shadow
vulnerability.
shield. Yeah, I wouldn't have. It wouldn't have threatened to kill me afterwards, I think. So this is Will-O-Wisp, like utility defensive Lunella, and it is mainly to check Groudon if it's like set up Groudon. I catch the Dialga. He poisons me, which is really annoying because that basically
Takes
breaks
away the
Shadow
shield.
Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, forever. Here I make a cheeky play and I wisp again. And at this point I was like, okay, things are looking amazing at this point. Chien Pao is burned. They have no way of really getting rid of that.
No.
Scizor walls this forever at this point. Um,
We see that it's
and I
Swords
can
Dance,
just
so it
U-turn.
can get things off if it really needs to, but
Mm,
it doesn't
but
get
with
the turns to
yeah,
do so.
Yeah, it's not going to get the turns. I always go Scizor. I don't even have to Bullet Punch. I can just U-turn because I'm not afraid of it anymore. And in comes Bear again because why not? It just clicks Earthquake every time. They sack the Chien Pao because I get it, it's burned. It's realistically not going to break through Scizor in this game ever. Or even Arceus, I guess. So yeah, here comes the Flutter Mane. What I was worried about. Here's the tech. This is the technology. So this is Max Spadef. Okay, so if you want to pause it here, I'll explain it.
Okay.
right.
So this is Max Spadef Corviknight, which by itself isn't, anything crazy, but it's mirror armor for so the
Lumos,
coverage
etc.
that for Mystical Fire, no, for well,
Mystical
yeah, for
Fire.
Shadow Bolt
Ah, yeah,
as
yeah.
well, but for
Mm.
Mystical Fire, which will always reduce Flutter Mane's special attack. So I can always take 2 Mystical Fires, except if it's in the sun. But that's why I've got the utility umbrella on the Corviknight as
Oh,
well.
that's
So
nice.
it doesn't get the sun boost. So I can always, if I'm at full HP, wall even specs Flutter Mane Mystical Fire in the sun as a steel type,
And
which
I'm
I think
guessing you
is,
can always do it with a roost too.
yeah, exactly. I can
Yeah,
roost, and I always kill it with Iron Head as well. So I thought this was, you know what, this is gonna wall Flutter Mane forever.
That is very nice.
Um,
I enjoy.
yeah.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, so I roost here because I need to stay at full HP to always check the Flutter Mane. Um, Groudon comes in. I don't want to get chipped on this. Go back into Lunala. They get their rocks up, which is fine. Don't mind it too much.
Do you have
I'm
defog
not
on
sure what
anything?
I do. I believe the Corv or the Scizor, or maybe both. I Hex here, which turned out to be the right play because they went into Victini. And at this point, I'm just thinking like, I don't know what they're going to do. If they kill Lunella, it's not that bad. So I Hex again just to kind of test the waters a bit. They go Pex, and I have Moonlight, which heals me more than Roost and Sun. So
Yes, I very much
again,
like that.
I want to see what he's thinking of doing. I go into Scizor. I'm a bit worried about getting burned on this, but at the same time, if Scizor gets burned, it's not the end of the world because Scizor's main purpose in this game was to check Chien Pao, and Chien Pao is dead. Scizor doesn't. It's not that important. It's just a way to get Ursaluna in with U-turns.
Yeah,
Um,
it can do nicely against the Groudon, but assuming that has to
I,
assume that it doesn't have a fire type
it
move.
doesn't have a fire move. Yeah, exactly. So I get the Barian on Toxapex again. We've seen this situation, so it gets
Claims
another
another.
kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at this point, Flutter comes in, I guess, to revenge kill. It's getting chipped slowly from rocks and life orb. I go back into the Corvi. This
And we
time
see
they
the
missed the
tear.
fire, and this time they realize, oh no, I can't kill the Corviknight with a fire move. But they have taunt. They had the counter tech to my tech, so
Ah,
I can't roost. I didn't even consider that. So at
That
this
is
point, I'm
awesome
thinking,
play from
oh,
both
okay,
ends.
I can't check the Flutter Mane with Corviknight anymore, but I think I've done enough damage to his team where it's fine. In comes the bear
you
again,
just got the
and
bear again another time,
yeah,
just gonna do the same thing again because
yeah,
there's no
And
ground
another
assist.
claims
one. And another
claims
Yeah.
its
one.
third victim.
And now you know that you can't take another rocks and burn.
Yep.
Right.
So I think I sack the bear at this point. He's done enough. He's gotten his 3 kills. I'm very happy with him. or her, I guess in this case, because it's a female one. Yeah, so Corviknight doesn't check this anymore, so I go Eternatus. It can take a Psychic or a Psyshock. He goes Moonblast. That's fine. So the Flutter is dead. That was, I think, the last threat to my team. Oh yeah, I was Meteor Beam with the Power Herb.
What was that for? Was that for
Yeah,
teams as
mainly
well?
for RC. RC is flying.
Okay, yeah.
Was the main thing to catch that a bit off guard, and just because I hadn't brought it at all this season, so I thought, why not bring Meteor Beam 1 week. They have Haze, but they don't really have a way of hurting my Eternatus, so it kind of just wins at this point. Like I can click Meteor Beam a billion times over.
Yeah, they can
They can't
always
poison me.
haze before the meteor beam goes off, but
It's true.
at the end of the day, you're still going to get that
Yeah,
damage.
I win this exchange because they only have a finite amount of recovers.
Yeah.
And I'm doing more damage to them than they are to me. So
And
at this
you'd
point, it's
switch
just
to
a
the
matter of
VMAX
time.
cannon.
Yeah, they can't switch in. So yeah, at this point, the
I'm
game
going to click
is
on to normal, I think.
yeah. You could even skip a couple of turns. This is
I could
We
probably
go
go
to
into
fast
fast.
swipe.
it's
Yeah.
This
We'll see some lovely
is what
Dynamax
PEX does
cannons,
to
man.
games. Yeah.
And the thing is, it doesn't actually achieve anything at this point, but you can't actually recover off
Yeah.
the damage that's being dealt, and you can't burn this through enough.
I do like what they're doing though, because they're using the recovers to potentially switch in the Victini
Sure.
to get the regen off, but
Yeah,
still
they
have
need
the
you to
meteor
do it
beam.
on your recover though, and that's already happened, so
Yeah.
it's just over.
Yeah. And then it dies.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's just going to get stalled out of healing. And yeah.
And down it goes for a lovely 5-0.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with how I played this. I'm still. I feel like they probably should have brought the Arceus. Yeah, I wasn't sure about
Yeah,
the Victini. I mean, I
Potential.
understand the rest, but I don't know about the Victini.
tends to be the case though in Ubers that if you're not bringing your arc, it has to have a really, really bad matchup.
Yeah, and I don't think it
or if
did.
it's a low tier arc, and it tends low tier arcs tend to not be able to be as much, but it depends on the draft, right? But something like arc flying, that's a mid to high tier arc, can be pretty decent in most matchups. And into this one, I don't really see anything that's really preventing an arc flying from coming.
Yeah.
So it does feel a bit weird because of just the amount of sheer bulk, threat, and everything you get from an Arceus. It is
Exactly, yeah.
pretty remiss to not forgo actually bringing it unless it literally cannot hit anything and it gets hit by everything, like playing I don't know Arceus Fairy into million steel types, but even then you still have 5 moves. So
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It always puts in work.
But I
Generally.
realised that we didn't actually say who those teams were. That was our third Oxford game in a row, and our second Oxford Auxiliary game of the day, I believe. And that one was again versus the Liverpool Littons.
Liverpool, yeah.
But thank you very much for coming and talking about that game.
No, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we shall say bye-bye and head over to the Fantasy Corner with... with Ben. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. It's been a fun week for doubles.
It has.
Been a very fun week.
Yeah, there were a few funny games actually, but
Yep.
Well, we'll get to them later, I think.
Yeah. OBS is
yeah,
doing
so
OBS things.
I'm
so just going...
very,
There we go.
I'm very unprepared this week because I've not done a recap yet, so I was kind of winging it.
Why is this doing this? This is
Recap
very
when?
rude.
Question mark.
Why
I should probably do
rude?
it tonight.
This is being very rude to me. Oh, I know why it's doing this. Okay, I get it. You know what? We'll just use this one. I get
Also
it.
for the record, I can only see the replays on the stream, if
Oh,
that
that would
is
make
intentional
sense.
from the Discord perspective.
Oh, I'll give you a little swap-a-doodles. Remind me to do it when we go back to the games. There you go. And
Oh my god, it's the fantasy.
it's the
Hey,
fantasy
spreadsheets.
draft. Okay. This is the first time I've seen it this week. And what I'm seeing here is hello, Charizard Y.
It's back!
Yes. It comes and goes, doesn't it?
It
has a
comes and
week
goes
where
in
it-
waves.
Stupid.
I mean, is 21 the highest individual score a Mon has made in a week?
That might be the case, actually. I
I
can
think
see
so.
Zapdos has a 20.
Uh,
Yeah, it
Unless
looks like
there's
the
something
highest.
that's
Scrolling
like
down.
slightly lower down. That's had
There's an
something,
18
but
from
I doubt it.
Genesect. There's a 17 from
No,
Galarian
must be.
Moltres.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be the
yeah.
highest.
There it is.
New record. After everyone got rid of it as well.
Some other big weeks from Rapid Strike, Ursaluna, Cresselia.
Yes.
Cresselia's coming back with a vengeance.
And then Great Tusk as well.
Oh yeah. And Iron Moth doing bits this week too, getting into the top 20.
And then just outside of the top 20 is Hisui and Gudra.
So it is. I know exactly why that's there. Tee. Unfortunately, we don't get to see it, but let's go, Jorvika Volts.
Body press is a good move.
Yes, it
It
is.
is.
Or was that the week before? I can't remember.
No, it was this week,
No,
I'm pretty sure.
well, it's been a lot of weeks, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh,
a good
Acid
move,
Armor is a good
pull.
move.
Yes, that thing just doesn't die.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Palafin is not doing... But actually, no, I am... I'm not surprised Palafin isn't doing better because Palafin's also Jorvika Volts. I don't know who has it in Yveltal, but we have both.
I mean,
Palafins
it's still 5 in the
previously.
general stats.
Yeah, I
which is-
mean, we
all
say
things
it's not done
considered.
well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
top
I was
5.
expecting it to be like well up there. I was expecting it to be sort of 8 to 12 points every week rather than what is that 6 to 13.
Yeah,
Like
look,
it-
a couple
I
of
was
weeks ago.
expecting it a bit more consistent.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago it was right up there, and it's kind of just dropped off a bit at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll score 22 points and give us a new record.
Oh, maybe I'll have to convince our doubles player to do that this week. Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not an important game.
Oh, it's very important. Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, maybe it'll do well in an important game. Who knows?
Absolutely. It's Palafin. It's a hero. When we need a hero, Palafin will come.
Wait, people can't
Theoretically.
trade it out now.
No.
Usually, Pokemon does well if people get rid of it. So, I was going to say if we could ask
Yeah.
people to trade it out, but it's a bit too late now because it's next week, or this week, I guess, is the last week.
It
so-
can't quite be seen on the stream, but I have scrolled to the KO leader and the assist leader. Urshifu with that massive week is up top with Palafin, the aforementioned, and Tornadus, I believe, was already up there.
Yes, that was top assist last week.
Yes, and Indeedee. Ooh, Indeedee's done nothing this week, hasn't it?
Indeed, he has not had the greatest performance, let's just put it that way.
And yes, it's still second in the assists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's had a lot of assists, but I think it's died basically every game as he does.
It appears twice a week as well, so it loses 2 for every assist it gets almost.
Yeah, very true. Whimsicott not top still. I think it might be by the end of playoffs.
It could be.
We do go
It's
into
Could
playoffs,
be.
don't we?
34 is
Oh,
possible.
no, we don't go into playoffs.
No, we
That's
don't do
right,
playoffs, but
So,
I mean, it needs 2 more assists than Tornadus to be top in assists, so it's not impossible at all.
No, definitely.
Mr. Mime might get there as well.
Oh, let's go, Mr. Mime.
Actually, I really want Mr. Mime to finish top, but I think it's just a little too far out of reach.
It's got a 17 week before. If everyone
has.
else above does,
which was
gets
actually
what?
kills mostly.
Yeah,
You take a look. Yeah.
It just cleaned up rather than it didn't do much helping. It just took matters into its own hands.
Okay, let's assume that it gets another killing week and gets let's call it 17 points again. That means that if everyone above only gets, what would it be? 8
9?
points.
Yeah.
8 points from everyone else, or the equivalent of that, to get up to not what Mr. Mime would get, then Mr. Mime is on top of the MVPs.
So I don't encourage people to meme there last week if it's important to someone, but I think in this case we could make an exception.
Potentially, yes. I think.
Yes,
so.
give me more points. Do it.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Is it still close? Oh, it's still incredibly close. Look at that. Wow. Okay. First through to, I'd say even maybe 9th. No, 9th probably can't clinch it. First through to 7th have the possibility. I don't know what the actual rosters are like. Whether there's enough difference in them.
There's a lot of similar things.
Okay, so maybe
there are
it's
some
down to
notable
second,
differences
fourth that can still win it, but you're in the lead.
I have been for I think 3 weeks now. I think.
Something
Wanna
like that,
say?
yeah.
Yeah.
Rigged.
I've just had very consistent weeks, seemingly. Yeah, rigged. Just been picking my team's mons.
This is how to win IOPS Fantasy, guys. You just have to come on stream. You have to be a co-host on the stream. Got to be part of the media team to win IOPS Fantasy 2024.
I know it's all to play for 1 week.
Yes.
I know I have some mons that some of the other players up there don't have, because I am running like Iron Hands and Cinnaraw, for example, that I think some people just aren't running on the leaderboard, and they don't always make points. So
Joe's got quite a different one, but he's probably too far behind now.
Oh yes, definitely. You'd need a big old, probably 80 to 90 point week.
Yeah, it's probably not happening, unfortunately.
No, but I mean, first is to play for, and then second is absolutely to play for.
Yes.
All the way down to around about 9th, you've got people who can jump all the way up and down that easily.
Yes, probably. And the last week is always quite a weird week as well, because you never know what's going to come. Because the people that have qualified or people that are playing games that don't matter will often bring the random 1-pointers they've picked. So you could see anything. You could see the top ones going for it to try and win people the playoff spot.
Give me those some floor points.
Yeah, some Flora might see some play this week. Or Nummel. Nummel might come back, who knows?
Let's go, Nummel. But we do have actually your game to watch through, and your opponent with us today, Alfred. Hello.
Good evening.
This was a game to behold.
A game of all time.
It was a game of all time, and everyone gets to watch it now if they haven't already. What a game!
Great.
What a game!
It was a fun game.
This was one of the most fun games I've ever played. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anyone have so much fun with one move in my life.
Yeah. We'll see that to come in a second.
Okay, without spoiling that specific thing, because I feel like we should watch it in real time to get the full experience with that. What was the prep on both sides of the field here? We've got both of you. I'm going to take the luxury.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I can take the reins. Yeah. Well, I mean, going into this, my expectations were fairly low. Given my previous record, it looks like I've never played doubles in my life, and there's a reason for that, I think. But because my team is very cleanly out of playoffs now, it was almost liberating. You mentioned it in the last segment. It's when you've got nothing to lose, you can do what you want, and it was freeing. My prep was essentially what I wanted to bring, instead of what I think I should have done, because that was probably more of a hindrance in my past games. over focusing on what I thought I should be doing while not actually knowing what on earth I'm doing.
I've noticed that doubles prep is a lot like that. It's like, oh, I have to bring this, but they could do that, but I could do that instead of doing that, but they could do that, and like it's just a merry-go-round of the could have, should haves rather than
Extra
I want
fun
to play this way.
with Terra, by the way. There's a lot of
Oh.
extra things to consider when it comes to that.
It's another layer. Yeah.
So
That's what happened with me bringing Great Tusk, actually. It was awful, because I was up against Holucha, Tapu Lele, Mega Alakazam. And then it's a Snorlax that I just can't remove otherwise, so it has to come. It's terrible. The Pokemon itself is just terrible, to be honest. But yeah, it has to come.
Perhaps, yeah.
It's not great in doubles compared to singles, yeah.
I think it needs Terra. Like,
no, it does need Terra. I'll give you that. I think Great Tusk is excellent. No, it is good. From everything I've seen, I've played into it and I've lost.
Yeah, it's just not resonated with me.
Although to be fair, I think Brute Bonnet did more work against me than Great Tusk did that game. But yeah.
Yeah. What about lead-offs for the both of you?
Oh, I wish I could remember what I led with. I don't even know what the plan was. I left with my Snorlax. I know I did that.
I feel like Bastiodon started off.
Yeah, it was probably those two. Essentially because I know they can live things, I think. That was mostly it. Snorlax, the set I brought was kind of designed to live in a thing that was there, and then do stuff back. It was very much a counter Snorlax. Because I had a lot of trouble killing a lot of things here. So I kind of needed that, you know.
What about you, Ben?
That revenge damage there.
I think all my plans went out the window when there was no Tapu Lele. I think I looked at it and thought, what on earth do I lead? So I think it was Spooper led.
Yeah,
I can't remember what with.
Spooper, yeah.
But I felt like I could Rage Powder and do something turn one.
I think it was.
I didn't really know.
I think it was either Great Tusk or Mount Metal, but we'll see. Let's take a look.
Sure,
I go on really slow, seeing there's two of you? I'll go on really slow until the thing happens, and then I'll go on slow.
The thing happens a lot.
That is true. Okay, let's go on really slow. It's the.
Oh,
I think maybe slow is.
Yeah, it might
more
be a little.
appropriate.
Yeah.
You
really
mean you don't want to go through the game like this?
This is slower than on cartridge.
Please.
It's on to slow now. Okay, the Bastiodon switch.
That's what we thought. Yeah, this is where I thought, damn, wouldn't soundproof have been fun? Late there, isn't it? But I'm not that worried about hyper voices anyway, so it's fine.
I didn't even think about that.
Is this a good time to say that I love Bastiodon?
It's a great time.
I think everyone does now.
I think.
A good time.
I was very pleased to be able to do that. After an extensive lobbying campaign, I was allowed to put hats on my dice.
There it is.
There it is. I thought I'd be hit there,
Metal
to be honest with you. Yeah, so I clicked Metal Burst. I think it was a good play.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I could have been hit.
This toxic spike was huge, actually. Just
I love
one
these
spike.
toxic spikes. I saw no grounded poison. I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't care if it's doubles or not.
I mean, generally in doubles, just having the 1 T-spike is actually better than 2 layers most of the time,
Yes.
because of the way
that's
the rack up is.
There's not enough turns to have the two do
Yeah.
anything
Yeah,
meaningful.
it just does more damage. Yep.
We see a double iron bash into the
did.
Bastiodon
To the Bastiodon, who...
when it switched in.
Yeah, so he wasn't doing anything. That's fine.
Yeah,
He's doing his job, really. His job was to live things. I was happy with Terra Water here. Because...
Once I saw the Metal Burst, I just tried to ignore it for as long as I could.
Oh, you did a pretty good job.
I didn't want to KO myself, basically.
Yeah, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see the
Overquill,
Into the.
No, it tried. It did the one thing I wanted it to do, so I was
It
happy
got
with
its
that.
intimidates off too.
Yes.
It
Okay,
got
yeah,
double
the two
crit, so the intimidate didn't matter in the end.
it got double
Yeah,
crit. Yeah,
which was very funny.
that was
At the same
hilarious.
time,
I
also
like that
very
a lot.
sad.
We see a bunch of switches, as we also see a metal burst the previous turn, now into the rock slide.
Actually,
Yeah, well-
Bastiodon getting a kill.
I don't know what's so surprising. It's
A kill is a kill. That's a Bastiodon.
of course, yeah.
Ah,
I knew exactly what was going to be happening here, so I knew what I had to do.
That's Terra Steel. I couldn't remember what type it was.
Actually, that's a complete lie. I had no idea what I was doing there because how are you meant to predict what terror it's going to be?
Oh, wait, I think this is the turn.
This is the turn, yeah. Clearly,
Yeah.
Bastiodon
There
was
we
gonna
go.
be-
Yeah.
Regrettably,
I finally let you get a metal burst and I missed.
it's okay. If at first you don't succeed,
Try
Try.
again.
Try again.
try again. Spadef Snorlax coming in clutch there. We like that, and then it dies. You know, it's okay.
It's okay because you can better burst.
Yeah, it's just a threat. I don't care if it's doing damage. It's just the thought of it.
Well, you're racking up the poison damage versus Wake right now, so.
Yeah, that's what I was liking as well.
We see the.
Very pleased I didn't ruin my calcs there. Good stuff. Modest iron treads. I'm not sure how often we see this, but against the Melmetal I had to do something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Metal
Zerf
burst.
Power.
Works well against
again.
Torkoal as well. Same
Yes.
idea.
And Great Tusk if I have to hit it as well.
Is this
This-
a rock slide turn? Of course not. You've got metal
I
burst.
thought
Nope.
long and hard. I thought long and hard about it. Probably click Metal Burst.
It's the strongest play.
E-9. The chat was the best bit of this game.
Definitely. I mean, yes, but also clicking metal burst every turn was the best part of this game.
The best
Is it
play.
going to happen?
Now this next turn, absolutely preposterous that anyone would attack Bastiodon. There'd be no reason to do that at all. So
not a chance.
clearly the objective play is to
It's
not click Metal Burst.
And
That's the
miss.
rock slide.
Misses anyway.
The
I'm glad to
flamethrower
say
actually
that now.
spooked me though.
Yeah, I quite liked offensive Clefable in this.
Yeah, it
Just
makes a lot of
'cause-
sense, especially in the sun.
Essentially, I wanted loads of special damage against you,
Yes.
basically.
Of course, the crit was super necessary there.
Oh, that was
because
crit.
otherwise it could have
Oh.
it could have metal bursted.
You know what button I clicked there. You know what I did.
And then Mr. Mega comes on out and starts taking some lives.
Starts taking some lives. I'm pleased he's finally able to do that. I feel like I've not really used Mega Alakazam that much, and I'm starting to think people might have been right when they said that it's not very good. But, you know, it's doing what he needed to here.
It's trying.
That damage scared me. I'm glad I got the 6% off, unironically.
Yes, actually, because it might have still been a roll.
Yeah.
The bigger thing here
think-
was the
Yeah,
When-
so it
when
comes
you
down
actually
to Focus
connect it.
Blast.
until
Yeah. I don't miss those. I've never missed a Focus Blast in IPS, it's a fact.
What's your secret?
click the button. Click metal burst 15 times.
Actually.
Fail 9 Metal Bursts, you hit all your Focus Blasts.
The equation is 1 metal burst in the future per focus blast hit in the present.
It's good karma, you know.
Of course.
What a wonderful game. That truly was incredible.
I'm pleased to have been able to entertain you.
Absolutely. I'm going to try and ping our next player whilst we thank you. for coming on and talking about the game, and thank Ben for coming on and talking about both the fantasy and the game.
It's a game bursting of excitement.
Let's do some
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for coming, and good luck for next week.
Thank you.
Or this week, I guess.
Thank you. I'll probably need it.
Thank you.
Okay. See ya.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Bye.
And we shall hope that our final player comes in. If not, I have to resort to using my own game. Spoilers for before the player comes. The only vote for this week's LC game was from me for the other York team, because we had some awesome prep, and I wanted Sloth to praise me for it. And he's coming on. And the other that I would have voted for. Hello. The other that I would have voted for would have been my game, because I had some awesome tech that I would have wanted praise for. But
no, my tech's way cooler.
Well, yeah, because it's mine.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I mean, it was my idea that then you changed.
Yeah.
And was a better idea, unfortunately.
I'm so sorry I've done this to you. Let's. I'm just gonna turn you down ever so slightly, and then we can talk about the game between. I believe it was St Andrews, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Shamblers versus St Andrews, up against their sub nothing, and they had a team which we were 100% convinced that Clamper would. Was it Clamper? No.
Shelder.
Shelder. That one. Shelder would come to.
I see Shelder. I'm like, I need to be prepared for this because it will just kill me.
Shell Smash is scary.
It really is.
So, what better way to deal with Shell Smash than to yoink that Shell Smash for yourself?
Yes, of course. Classic Mirror Herb.
Yeah. So originally, Sloth had gone for Mirror Herb on.
It was on Baneri, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we looked at it and were like, Woobat gets.
Gets the sword power.
Yep, stored power.
And I guess all the coverage it needs, and Acro.
Does it get an extra boost off of Simple?
Yes, that is
yeah.
exactly why it was brought up.
Yeah.
So we tested it because we weren't exactly sure whether it would, but it did. And so
from that point, the idea was just pretty much set.
Yeah. It was stored power for the pretty much everything, but then Scraggy sits there and doesn't take that. I think you originally had
I think I had
must have been Air Slash or something.
I think I had Energy Ball in it originally. I can't remember if I kept Energy Ball.
No, I can't remember either.
I'll find the set.
But then we realised, if you no longer have the Mirror Herb, you can Acrobatics.
You've got and you've still got the attack boost.
Yes. What we didn't count on was it not coming?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I definitely considered I could always just steal boost from other things. Like there's Scraggy, which has Dragon Dance. You've got Belly Dramon, Magby. And I think like even if Natu started Calm Minding, I could probably beat it out if I was fast enough.
Yeah, that's for sure. And actually, oh wait, no, Acrobatics wouldn't have the boost. But this one will definitely play on slow. What was turn one? Turn one's thoughts?
It's a good question. I think I see this team. I think either Voltorb just to Volt Switch out, kind of gain momentum, or there's Golett to set Stealth Rocks, and then you've got your not Ninetales, it's Vulpix, just to set your Hail. Like there's options, but I feel like anything else would have been kind of showing your cards a bit too early, so I could see any of those coming in. I can't remember what I actually decided on.
I believe it was Tink, but I might be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, that just comes in with its own stealth rocks. It has knock. It's just a very nice utility mon.
Yeah, it might have also been Growlithe, I can't remember. Oh no, it was Tink.
It was, yeah. There we go.
And we'll also see some nice tech from the Tink today.
Funny little guy. Yeah, I was immediately scared of a Scarf EQ, so get my perfect EQ switch in.
Yeah. Now, Grookey was just there to do little bits here and there, right?
Yeah, it was just kind of there as a... It does its thing. You have to respect it.
Yeah. Still a 14.1, whether or not it's being the one putting in the work on the week.
Yeah. Here, didn't get the T-Wave, but, I mean...
Nice switch from them.
Don't really mind. All was interesting.
Were you
And then...
expecting them to not Earthquake because you'd already switched?
I mean, I was expecting them... I was mainly expecting them to be Scarf, so just seeing not Scarf was a surprise. But then also, because... Hang on. I'm losing my thoughts.
Oh, let's
I guess
pause.
I just... Yeah, the moving images.
Oh, this is very funny there.
Yes, it is.
Not the spoilers. Yeah, so getting my knockoff first was quite big because it meant that I didn't steal the Colbur after getting hit, which actually meant that this turn could then happen. So if they'd hit me with the Scarf Poltergeist, I use up my Berry Juice, and then it gives me the Scarf. Actually,
Yes.
I don't know if... Poltergeist is contact, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
Oh.
Oh,
Then
wait,
maybe I
no,
wouldn't
it's
have
using
Poltergeist is non-contact, so I've used it in Ubers on Marsh specifically to get around helmets.
No, fair enough. Then, never mind. That would not have mattered.
It's lovely that it happened the way that it did then.
Yeah. But it did mean that I could then...
Here.
Actually, and then I would have knocked off the Scarf, so I would have still... It would basically be the same position.
Oh, yeah, very true. But then that goes out, Magmi comes in, and we see the first instance of Pickpocket.
Yeah. Yoinking that Berry Juice, it just meant that I could just say no right here. This was an unfortunate para. Like, I don't know what they clicked, but they could have clicked. I think it gets cross-chop or something. Something dumb that could have just instantly killed me.
Likely a fire move coming out there, but
I mean,
they'd have been.
There's always the risk.
Yeah. And now we see the Dragon Dance.
The choiced Growlithe actually worked very well in baiting this out.
Yeah.
Because you see, it's doing no damage. I can just slide in with my setup mon.
Then I just gonna nuke everything.
I do get 2 back-to-back crits. I think the first one definitely didn't matter, but I was 0 attack with negative nature.
Yeah.
So it might have mattered on the full picks, depending if it had any bulk.
Yeah, we spec'd it so that it could live like different ice shards and.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that was the other wave.
Yeah.
They could have mixed that Axel as well, so.
2 unfortunate
I think
turns
it was...
in a row, but
it was fair enough after the double crit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But here, I mean, hit the T-Wave. I'm now faster, which is funny. Because Sandshrew is so slow.
Oh my god, Rock Smash.
Tink is a funny mon that gets
Gotta use my
steals
5 moves that I get.
And the pickpocket once again coming in clutch,
Well,
because then it would have
Lets
been
me get
faster
that
with the
roll.
rapid spin.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, it wouldn't have been faster because
No,
it didn't. Have the
that's
snow
not
in it.
how. That's not how that works.
Well, it would have been if the snow was still up.
Oh, true. Wait, no. Maybe I don't know.
1.5 divided
I
by
can't
2
remember.
times the 1.5 and then times it by 2 again, it probably would have been.
True. Yeah, I guess.
Nice that the
Yeah.
Grookey didn't get aftermathed for a 4-0.
Yeah, I was very happy to see it just kind of hang on.
Yeah. Diff is important.
Yeah, my Grookey, it was Eviolite just because I didn't feel like anything else really needed it this matchup. And then I ended up turning it into specifically something that just came in on Voltorb, clicked a move, left again, and then it ended up killing it in the end.
Yeah. And
There it is.
that was the win. I'm very happy that the tech worked, even if it wasn't for what we'd prophesized.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
yeah,
adding Acro was definitely considering the possibility of the Dragon Dance.
yeah. Mirror Herb is silly.
I love
Fun.
it.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
It's better in LC than it is in a lot of the other tiers because
Yeah, that's
boosts
definitely true.
are just more important in general because the stats are so small.
Mm-hmm. I've
the
seen,
HP is
like,
so
on ladder, I've seen success with Mirror Herb Pawniard, at least at the start of the game. Because I would switch it on, like, a rapid spin, and then I can just start spamming Iron Heads, spamming whatever move I want.
Yeah,
Not knock, because that's unfortunate.
Wait, did it lose knock?
It lost knockoff.
Ah, that's a shame for it. Not in draft though. Still has
That's
to
true.
draft. Still...
Unfortunately, I have to deal with that this next week.
Oh, lovely. Oh, we'll get to prepping.
In about half an hour.
Oh, did I not do anything? Did I not look at it?
So,
my bad.
I mean, I did it mostly last night.
My bad. Oh well. Good luck for that.
Good luck, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I get to genuinely say I wish you the best of luck for week 8, and hopefully, if all things go well, for playoffs. But that's very much to be decided.
I mean, we will see.
Yeah, currently 1-0 down versus Southampton. Soon to be 4-1 up, though. Let's go. Let's go, Champleurs.
I have faith. Hopefully, maybe, possibly.
I believe you can all do it.
Funny thing is, even if we make playoffs, I'm not here next week, so we get to see Dan try out Little Cup for the first time ever.
He tried out what was it, Ubers for the first time?
Yeah, Ubers last week.
Yeah.
I think he also might need to play doubles, either this week or next week.
Oh, good lord.
Oh,
so just getting the whole experience.
You know. Yeah. He played doubles last year, didn't he? Though.
Oh
no, it was Joe.
No, I think that was River.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Getting the full treatment.
Yeah.
All of it. But thank you very much for joining us, and good luck for that game.
Thank you.
We bid
and
you
good
farewell.
Good luck to you and yours as well.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna crush Tom. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna defeat him with my.
Let's see the 6-0.
I'm gonna do it.
Easy.
Flittle's gonna come in and sweep.
No, don't leak. Don't leak.
Oh, sorry.
Speed boost all over them.
Speed boost, easy. Have a good one, Sloth.
Well, see you.
Let's do a lovely transition over to our starting page as the music will come back in. And we get to say thanks for joining us in week 7.
Mm-hmm.
Week 8 is the all-important week where we go over not just the games, but who gets into playoffs. We'll see.
Big week.
Yeah, we'll see who the winners of the Fantasy League, and we will also, after that, not the same stream, but we will hopefully be having the awards for the Fantasy Draft. And that was a ton of fun last year, laughing about some good old confetti. I wonder if I still have it.
Effects.
I think it might have been deleted in my PC fire.
No,
I can
not the
find it
confetti.
again. I can find it again. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay.
But
I want to see it again.
Yeah, I do want to see it again. It was very fun. Thank you very much to everyone watching. Thank you to you, Takawa, for joining me. And
Thank you. It's been a good one.
yeah, and thanks to all the players playing their hearts out in this competition. We've been
And
people